everyone. Art Eckman, and welcome to Bakersfield, California at the Centennial Garden and Convention Center for round 3 of Monsters of Destruction. At all the events, the pit party allows the fans to get up close and personal with the drivers and view these fantastic machines. Working with me tonight, Tim Hodge and Raquel Gardner. And Tim, the fans love meeting the drivers themselves.
Yeah, getting up close and seeing their favorite drivers and their big trucks is great for all these fans. And Monsters of Destruction has some of the top drivers and top trucks that are on the circuit today, so it's going to be a great show. Some
happy faces getting the autographs there. Our format for the evening, the qualifying rounds, the straight line drags, quick 3-second sprints determining the running order. The top qualifier is the only one that gets a first 2-event bye. After the straight line drag, Chicago-style racing, and then the freestyle, and of course freestyle is what everybody wants to see.
Yeah, it is. These drivers let it all hang out. I mean, it's a small little track, but they don't care. They are going for the big tricks no matter what.
In the first qualifier, well, Bigfoot with Dan Runte, he's the best of the best against Spider-Man and Paul Jensen.
Yeah, and Bigfoot is definitely one of the favorites in the top qualifying position. This truck is built to race.
3 goes to green. Bigfoot with a great start. And Bigfoot has the time to beat now after our first qualifying round at 3.116.
Yeah, definitely a good run by Bigfoot there.
Our next pairing for the qualifiers, Dragon Slayer with Craig Christensen against the veteran Paul Schaefer in Frankenstein Monster Patrol.
It should be a really close matchup here. These trucks are really even.
Dragon Slayer, interesting way to get that name.
Yeah, actually had a contest at his son's school. The 2 most popular entries were Dragon and Slayer, so therefore Dragon Slayer.
Let's see who does it on the course.
Whoa, too close to call, Art. Whoa, look at that, almost hitting Spider-Man there.
And a great time for Dragon Slayer. The top qualifier right now with a 3.038.
And Monster Patrol not far behind with a 3.143. Take a look at this. He is coming in. He's got to brake quick to avoid hitting his truck. But he also owns the Spider-Man truck. If you're going to hit a truck, you might as well hit your own.
Absolutely.
Don't want to make too many enemies there.
Next up on the line, it's Linex Obsession, also sponsored by AmeriGas, and 3-way Chevrolet Punisher.
Yeah, Linex is definitely the favorite here. Their truck is built to race, and they've got some new shocks, and this truck is really dialed in for Rick Swanson style.
Curtis Stone new to the circuit, but Swanson started monster trucks back in '97, and he takes a great time.
Wow,
it'll move into second place. Now trying to best everyone is Brad Campbell, driving the Outdoor Channel's Monster Moose. He's out of the Puget Sound area. He'll be the only one at the line as the number 29 Kevin Harvick monster truck was broken in the first round of freestyle action, so Amber Skywalker unable to participate, Tim.
Much to the dismay of team owner Paul Schaefer, who doesn't like to see his truck go out and not be able to thrill the crowd.
Monster Moose underway. And the Outdoor Channel's Monster Moose, a respectable time. He moves into 5th place with a 3.565.
Not a bad qualifying run for the Moose truck.
But it's Dragon Slayer on top, gets the 2-event bye with AmeriGas, Linex Obsession in second. Bigfoot taking a 3rd place in the qualifying. We move into the straight line drags. Round 1, the Dragon Slayer gets the bye, but it's Monster Moose versus Monster Patrol.
Yeah, he was a veteran driver against the rookie there, Art. And 4/10 of a second veteran qualifying for Monster Patrol. That should hold up here in Heat 1.
Outdoor Channel Monster Moose, Brad Campbell, new to the circuit, but after his first 2 rounds, this is only his 3rd race of his career.
Yeah, he's really shown improvement fast. I mean, he's a good driver, and he's got nothing but good things coming to him.
Against the veteran Paul Schaefer on the lower side of your screen, and Schaefer gets the good jump of the Frankenstein Monster Patrol. Oh, a 2.986.
Yeah, first sub-3-second run of the evening here, Art. And look, with the longer wheelbase, he stays low to the cars, hits them hard. Monster Moose goes up a little bit higher. That's all the difference in the world.
Paul Schaefer, the largest independent owner of the fleet of the monster trucks. He owns about 21, including the 3-time world champion Barefoot and Tony Stewart's Smoke.
And here we go on board with them. And you see just how good this run is. And stops in time, no problem.
Great acceleration. Next up, Bigfoot versus Spider-Man, the original monster truck Bigfoot.
Owner Bob Chandler spent a lot of time testing and developing these trucks. Their setup is perfect, they're built to race, and they're very fast.
Plus, he's got the best monster truck driver in the land, Dan Runte, all ready to go against Spider-Man, the Marvel Comics truck with Paul Jensen aboard.
Yeah, Paul's really going to have to improve his qualifying time to even compete against Bigfoot here. But it should be an interesting race.
Yeah, anything you can do in a monster truck, Runty has done it. From Freeport, Illinois, he gets the good jump and the best time. 3.137 for Bigfoot.
Yeah, Spider-Man truck lowered his time, but so did Bigfoot. Stayed pretty consistent there, only a couple hundredths off. You can really see the neck jarring there. It's tough to be a driver. I mean, everyone thinks it's easy, but it's not.
From the outside, they make it look easy, that's for sure. Next up in qualifying, Line X Obsession, also sponsored by America Gas, versus three-way Chevrolet Punisher.
Yeah, this is a new truck for Curtis Stone, the three-way Chevrolet Punisher. He hasn't really had time to set it up to fit his style, so he's having kind of a hard time here working out all the kinks kind of on the fly.
Line X Obsession on the lower part of your screen. We're set to go. The Christmas tree on the way down. The green light.
Good jump by Line X, no problem there.
His run good enough to put him into the semifinals against Bigfoot. As we look at his time, 3.086.
Yeah, once again, the second fastest time of the round. Real consistent runs there by Line X Obsession. As you see here, fast off the start, low over the cars, and just too much for the three-way Chevrolet Punisher.
When we return, it's the Straight Line Drag Semis with Monster Patrol, Dragon Slayer, Line X Obsession, and Bigfoot. Monsters of Destruction is brought to you by AmeriGas, America's largest propane company, and by MonsterTruckStore.com, your online source for monster truck merchandise, and by Cruise and Tees, the ultimate source for motorsports apparel. Leading off the Straight Line Drag semifinal round, Frankenstein Monster Patrol with Paul Schaefer aboard, and Dragon Slayer with Craig Christensen. Now, Monster Patrol had a terrific time in that first round of 2.986. Dragon Slayer, of course, had the bye. Monster Patrol might have the advantage here.
Well, Monster Patrol did have the only sub 3-second run, so to match him, Dragon Slayer is going to have to shave off about 5/100.
Nothing's preordained here. Anybody can win this one. Monster Patrol versus Dragon Slayer.
Taking their time, getting lined up. You know, every little advantage can help in the straight line drag. It's such a short race that everything's got to be perfect.
And Craig Christensen realigning once again. Christensen out of Willard, Utah, the founder of Team KCM. Oh, there's some mind games going on here, I think.
Yeah, looks like they're lined up. Looks like they're ready to go here, though.
Schaefer gets another good start. It's going to be close.
Wow, Monster Patrol with another sub 3-second run.
2.888, the best run of the day.
Watch this from onboard. Just another solid run from Paul Schaefer. Look at him bounce around in there, but when you win, it hurts a lot less. And here's Dragon Slayer. Didn't improve on his qualifying run. I mean, still a good run, 3.071, but not quite good enough.
At the line to continue our semifinal round, Line X Obsession versus Bigfoot. This ought to be a good matchup.
Yeah, Line X actually had the better time in the heats, 3.086 to 3.137, so it should be a really tight race. Bigfoot is definitely going to have to improve if he wants to continue on.
Line X Obsession has issued the challenge with Rick Swanson, the driver.
Once again, really taking their time in the pre-stage to really get lined up. It's important that they have the right line to get down the track the fastest.
Bigfoot, the blue truck on the right. Dan Runty, 15-year veteran out of Freeport, Illinois. He's looking at the tree right now, cocked his head over.
Yeah, they only have a tree on one side, so the driver opposite the other side has to kind of look away.
Bigfoot with a great break. It's going to be awfully close.
Looks like Bigfoot took it. Wow, another sub 3-second run.
2.902. Bigfoot goes into the final round.
See him watch the tree, then by the time he almost looks straight ahead, the round is done. The race is over. Good run in there. There's another good look at that. Wow, just hits those cars, stays low once again, and you know, the truck is just built to go fast over those cars.
Acceleration, of course, a big key, but watch the suspensions as well.
This should be an interesting final. The only two trucks to break the sub 3-second barrier here, Monster Patrol and Bigfoot.
Monster Patrol at 2.888 and Bigfoot at 2.902. Basically a dead heat.
Yeah, this should be really good. They're both going to have to try to improve on already good times if they want to win this one. Neither one of them is backing down.
And of course, going into the finals, it means a lot point standings wise.
Yeah, you're on board here with Monster Patrol, looking really good. It's almost minutes of anticipation for a really short run, but let me tell you, these drivers are nervous. They want to win. Checking out the tree.
Frankenstein Monster Patrol on the left. Runty and that Bigfoot on the right, and it is so close, but I believe Monster Patrol might have taken it.
Yeah, look at this. Monster Patrol hits it hard. Once again, stays low. I think a little bit lower than even Bigfoot that time, and that's all the difference that he needed. Wow. 2 sub-3 second rounds. That is phenomenal.
2.877. He bettered his time.
And Runty was a little bit slower. I think that might have been that little jump there at the end. Got him just a little bit too high.
After 3 rounds, Frankenstein Monster Patrol leading Dragon Slayer and Bigfoot. Let's hear from our winner, Paul Schaefer, who's with Raquel Gardner.
Thank you.
So how does it feel? Because, you know, Bigfoot has been, like, taking all the races here earlier today and yesterday, so you finally took control.
Well, I got lucky. I got in the left lane, and I got a bigger spot here, and I hit the gas just a little bit. I almost hit the wall about 3 feet, so I come pretty close.
Now, is that because the car's warmed up now and it's harder for you to stop on the brink?
Well, when I left the line, I shifted a little bit different, and that gives me a little more speed and a little more power, and in this place, there ain't enough room. If you'd have put me in the right lane, I wouldn't have won, but left lane, I can gas it a little bit more.
All right, so you got anything up your sleeve for Chicago style or the freestyle later on?
Well, I'm going to try hard. The Chicago style is a little bit different. Today, I lost my brakes a little bit, but I should be there.
All right, good. Well, we're anxious to see what he's got going on later on tonight. Thanks a lot, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
Paul Schaefer, everybody.
So the Frankenstein Monster Patrol sets the pace. It's the Chicago-style obstacle course coming up next. Back to the Monsters of Destruction of Bakersfield, California, Chicago-style event. A lot of technique as we've got one truck versus the other truck, and the truck that hits his set of tires the second time around, a lap and a half, will be the winner. Now here, wheelbase has some effect on Paul Schaefer.
Yeah, the longer wheelbase is definitely a benefit in straight line drag, but a detriment here where you can't make the turn. It looks like Paul Schaefer has a lot of problems there.
Oh, yes. Monster Moose, a 15.977.
Nice time. And let's go on board and see if we can figure out where he went wrong. I mean, he got a good jump, good start, straight, makes the first turn really good, gets back in line, hits the second set of cars, and trying to see what happens, he just gets way wide, can't make up the time. By this time, Monster Moose is already jumping his second set of cars, and Paul Schaefer's out of it.
Outdoor Channel's Monster Moose, a great upset victory for Brad Campbell.
Look at here. Now there he's off the track just a little bit on that first round, but he was able to pull it in. But yeah, Monster Moose just too much. Nice job.
He looks like a veteran in that jump.
Yeah, he does. Now here's a veteran, Dan Runte, in the Bigfoot.
Bigfoot versus Spider-Man.
Now we talked about how Paul Schaefer's Monster Patrol was set up for the straight line drag and not necessarily the Chicago style. Bigfoot, if you can believe it, is set up for both. It's that good of a truck.
Let's see how Paul Jensen and Spider-Man can compete against this terrific champion. Bigfoot, it's pretty even hitting that first set, but oh, hitting the blue pole. Spider-Man, that'll be a penalty.
Looks like it might have been a steering issue there. He looks like he lost control.
And if you hit the blue pole or both tires don't hit the dirt ramp at the same time, you get penalized.
And here's Spider-Man's going good, and he hits these second cars fine, gets a little out of whack. Yeah, he has no control over where he's going. He's lucky he got stopped.
Let's go on board with Bigfoot's Dan Runte. Now watch the left hand steering the front wheels. The right hand is not only working the gear shift, but also steering the rear wheels.
Yeah, this Chicago style is really involved. You got to do a lot of things going. You got to watch your opponent. You got to steer with one hand, steer the back wheels with the other, and shift. It's not easy, that's for sure.
Runte on his way to the semifinal round. Meanwhile, Paul Jensen is working with that steering fluid problem, and Raquel catches up with him in the pits.
I broke one of the steering rams, so I'm bypassing it to the other one, and then we'll steer it out of here.
You think you're going to be able to do freestyle?
I hope so. We'll try and get it back together, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Linex Obsession, also sponsored by AmeriGas, is getting ready for our next heat. No opponent on this one because three-way Chevrolet Punisher is getting ready for freestyle. So he's got his way assured into that semifinal round, Tim.
Yeah, he does. And, you know, you still just get out there, run the truck, make sure everything's working good. But it's a testament to these drivers where they want to be out there driving. You know, so he's out there fixing his truck, trying to get ready for the freestyle, the three-way Chevrolet Punisher, and you know, you see Paul Jensen doing the same thing. So that's real good.
So it's Dragon Slayer who had the bye because of the great qualifying time versus Monster Moose, and Bigfoot versus Linex Obsession in our semifinal round. Ready now for the Chicago semifinal round. Craig Christensen and the Dragon Slayer and the Outdoor Channel Monster Moose with Brad Campbell. So it's almost a rookie versus the veteran setup here for our first semifinal.
And I wonder if running in the first round didn't help out the Monster Moose. He's a rookie, doesn't have a lot of experience. He's getting more track time, which is always good. And here we go.
And the Dragon Slayer, of course, a Hummer-style vehicle.
Yeah, and it looks like Monster Moose is taking the lead.
Monster Moose, this would be an incredible upset.
Oh, and he knocks over the pole. He had to get aggressive there to try to make up some time, and he ends up costing him.
So he'll be penalized, and Monster Moose is an upset victor.
Wow, now take a look from this onboard camera, right? Looking at the wheel. You see, he comes around, he's in good shape, but he can definitely feel the pressure because Monster Moose makes that turn like an old pro.
He certainly hits the cars first.
And then there it is. He's just trying to be too aggressive, comes in too tight, and knocks down the pole. Wow.
Big upset.
It's amazing. I tell you, Monster Moose has got a huge future in this business because he is one heck of a driver.
Well, Linex Obsession and Bigfoot in our next semifinal round. Who will it be?
And once again, a classic match of two trucks built for this type of racing. The Bigfoot is always tough in the turns.
Bigfoot, oh, he does a front wheelie.
That could cost him there some time, and he's behind. Wow, look at that turn. Oh, my goodness.
Terrific turn for Bigfoot.
Wow, that was the race right there. He just came out of that turn so fast. Only got to go under 15 seconds.
Take another look as Runty does an exceptional job of catching up.
Yeah, you see, this cost him some time, and he was behind coming into the second run of cars. He really had to pull it out. And you see it from the onboard here where he hits and does that front endo kind of type thing. Gets it back in line, regroups, hits that second group of cars, and here's where the race is run, right here. This turn is phenomenal. And the run right there, he's got it.
Bigfoot to the finals against Outdoor Channel's Monster Moose.
Beating Dragon Slayer in the semifinals was a huge upset, but nothing would be bigger than beating Bigfoot in the finals at Chicago Style Racing for Brad Campbell. He's third round that he's raced, and here he is.
Chicago finals.
Oh!
Monster Moose knocking into a blue pole.
You know, he knew he had to be aggressive. He knew he had to pull out all the stops, and he was just a little bit too aggressive there.
You can bet your bottom dollar that this young man from the Puget Sound area of the state of Washington is going to put this on his bio. I made the finals of the Chicago Style in Bakersfield, California.
Well, Brad Campbell, he'll be at all the Monsters of Destruction events, and you can be sure you're going to end up seeing him in the winner's circle before it's all said and done.
You fans in Fresno, California, that's the next race. January 14th and 15th, Selland Arena in Fresno. Rounds 4, 5, and 6. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Saturday night.
And here's where we're on board with Bigfoot. You can tell he's constantly looking at the other driver, watching his lines, and doing a real good job. And here he knows, okay, I got this one won. Time to take it to the bank. That's his third straight win in Chicago Style Racing, let me tell you.
And a reason why he's 75 points and leading the results in the Chicago Style over Dragon Slayer and Monster Patrol. Raquel is with Dan.
Are you doing anything different than anybody else that's putting you in control of your truck more so than anyone else?
Driving Bigfoot. How you like that?
Yeah, you are. That's true.
No, we've been at it a long time. We got a lot of good guys behind us. Thank all the guys back at the shop. I mean, Roy and Bob and John and those guys back there are awesome. We put together some good trucks. I mean, it's just cool to come here this weekend and sweep this out as well as we have. The truck's turning well. It's going well.
Your truck is looking awesome, and it's holding up so well because a lot of the other trucks are having some problems.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough to come do 3 shows in 2 days. 2 shows in 1 day makes it hard on everybody. I mean, it wears on the driver as well as it wears on the trucks. It just makes it rough on everything.
I know. Now wait a minute. We got freestyle coming up. This is the last stunt. Are you going to do anything crazy?
I was thinking maybe of announcing and letting you freestyle.
Hey, I think that's a good idea. Thanks a lot, Dan. Congratulations again. Dan Runty, everybody. Bigfoot. Let's give it up.
The freestyle, the Monsters of Destruction getting big air and crashing with big force. It's coming up next. Good. It's the Monsters of Destruction from Bakersfield, California, the freestyle competition. Individual runs for each truck, hard on both man and machine. 1 minute 30 seconds, each truck pulls the tricks, not just for Battlefield, but also votes. It's the fans' reaction that determines the winner. And up right now is Curtis Stone in the 3-way Chevrolet Punisher.
It's a real testament to Curtis. He spent all Chicago style putting his truck back together, getting it ready, because he knows this is what the fans pay their hard-earned money to come out and see. They want to see these trucks hit big air, crush some cars, and do monster tricks for the crowd.
Bonnie Lake, Washington, has some experience in off-road 4x4 before coming to the circuit, of which we've emphasized before. Brand new to this type of circuit.
Yeah, rookie driver, he's willing to get out there and try. I mean, he may not be the fastest or the best, but he's giving it all he's got. He's really proud of it.
Still, I'd like to have that machine in a traffic jam in Atlanta.
You'd have no problem getting through rush hour with a beast like that. Now, see how they put the van in the middle of the track, Art, for the freestyle. And you're going to see some of the other guys hit that for some really big air, crush the van. The crowd loves that kind of stuff.
Really an experience run for Curtis Stone.
Yeah, it's just basically him getting track time. The more time he gets behind the wheel, in an event, seeing what he can do, it's only going to help him get better.
He works a lot on the engines and transmission, not just driving the machine.
And seeing someone on the course who's new to the sport really gives you an appreciation for the veteran drivers and what they're doing out there, because, they're doing tricks that people can only imagine doing.
It was interesting talking to Curtis. He came across with how great the group of guys are, that everybody's really been helpful in getting him started.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing about this series is, the drivers all look out for each other. They don't, they want to win, but they also want to put on a good show.
Here's the Outdoor Channel Monster Moose with Brad Campbell. Boy, what a fine job he did in the Chicago finals. He gets big air. He comes back hard.
Wow, that's amazing that truck stayed together. I mean, that just shows you how good the suspension is on this truck. Look at the height on that jump. There's different ways to hit these cars. You slow up on them and then hit them with some speed. You can get some really big air, as we saw Amber Skywalker do in the first round.
A really good run for the Outdoor Channel Monster Moose with Brad Campbell. He's making a big impression here in Bakersfield.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a driver who's only been around for 3 rounds. I mean, he looks like an experienced guy out there. He knows what he wants to do. He's got an idea. Look at that nice donut. A maneuver like that is tough on a small track like this. So, I mean, that's an experienced move that you won't see many other drivers even attempt.
He's having fun.
Yeah, he is, and that's the main thing out there. I mean, this freestyle it's for the fans, it's for the drivers. They just go out there, have fun, compete on your cars a little bit, but not too much.
And it's not scripted. These guys are just doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, they kind of have an idea on what they can hit and how hard they can hit it, but it's definitely played by the seat of your pants.
Whoa! Over the van. That'll knock the fillings out of your teeth.
Yeah, Brad might have to schedule an appointment with the dentist. Wow, he's having a great run. I'm impressed.
He's making the most of that minute 30 seconds, that's for sure.
Yeah, he is. He's just out there giving the fans what they want. This is what they came for. Whoa! That's some good air.
And so already in our second entry, he's giving the fans a lot to cheer about.
Yeah, he might be up there in the top 2 or 3. That was a good run. That's going to be hard to top. And look at here, that first hit is just huge. I mean, he's up on 2 wheels and he's up on the front wheels, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know how the truck stayed together. That I've seen axles break on jumps like that.
Looked like he was landing on separate wheels all along.
Yeah, it's just amazing. You know, like I said, the testament to the suspension of these vehicles is they are amazing what they can do. Give the crowd a little donut.
Paul Schaefer tells us more about his fantastic fleet of vehicles when we return to Bakersfield.
I was a world champion mud racer back in, I was a rookie of the year in 91. 92, I won the world championship. 93, we won the outdoor championship. But in 93, I bought the old Taurus truck. And I took it and we painted it up, and my Mud Patrol was black and green, so I just made it black and green, and I called it Monster Patrol. And that's how we got started. And then I just kept growing and growing. I built a brand new truck. Me and Tom Mintz and Bob and Ricky, we put together one at my house. We built a brand new one, and I taught Tom how to drive. And we took this old truck, and I'd take all my old bodies in town, roll it over, crash it, tear it up. You know, and that's what we did. We kept going. And then I built a third one. And then I built a fourth one. I owned 21 trucks, Barefoot, Monster Patrol, Frankenstein, Return of the Mummy, Scorpion King, Oz Monster, Wild Thing, Boogie Van, Taurus, Captain USA, Kid Rock, Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart. California, we had 2 trucks out here for the last 3 years, you know, stayed out in the West Coast. I got a truck in Texas, stays down there. I got 3 trucks sitting in Florida. I got 1 truck sitting in Buffalo, New York. So we're all over the place. But we changed a lot, you know. They started out, when I first started driving, they had the motors in the front. Then they figured out to put the motors in the back. It makes it more tail heavy. It flies a little bit better. And now in '94, I built one like that, and it flew nose up in the air. Now what we're doing now, the truck I got here tonight is my race truck. The motors move forward in it. It's really the tail weight of a truck was 54%, and it would fly right back in the old days. Now, in 2000, this truck is 51% nose heavy. And what that does, it keeps it lower to the ground. If you watch me in freestyle, I don't get much air at all, you know, and that's what I want. I want to go straight across the cars. I don't want to fly up 15, 20 feet in the air and then come down. I want to be the first one to the finish line. I own a bunch of auto parts stores and yards, and we buy scrap, and I own a garbage company and tire shredding company. I own a bunch of different companies. Yeah, Pay Trucking is a company that I started about 15 years ago. We got 22 trucks to haul scrap all over the country, you know, so it keeps us busy. Not really bad now. When you first start, you get a phone call and one guy rolls over, and then another guy calls you the same night and they roll over. Then the third guy calls you and says, I won. I kicked butt. I said, well, that's great, but I got a problem. I go, what? Well, we went out for freestyle and I hit a bus and a van and I flipped over. I said, you gotta be kidding.
One of the deans of the Monsters of Destruction series. And of course, being the boss, he can pick his favorite truck, and this is it, Frankenstein Monster Patrol.
Yeah, expect a good run from Paul. You know, after round 1, he had a little talk with his employee, Amber Skywalker, about, you know, how it's a marathon and not a sprint. Because she, you know, broke her truck on the first night and they couldn't come out and compete the rest of the rounds 2 and 3. But Amber's a newer driver on the circuit, and that's something she'll learn over time. Whereas Paul, you know, he's an old pro, and he knows exactly what he wants to do on these freestyle runs. Give the crowd what they want.
Paul winning that straight line drag earlier this evening.
He got a little boxed in there, had to back it up, and so he could hit the cars at the right angle.
I like the style of this Frankenstein.
Yeah, the wing on the back. Whoa, up on 2 wheels. As I mentioned, the wing is a signature on the Paul Schaefer truck. All his Monster Patrol trucks, all his movie-themed trucks have that wing. And when you see that wing, you know you're looking at a Paul Schaefer truck.
It's great the way he gets everybody involved, not only Amber, but also Kevin Harvick and Tony Stewart.
Yeah, he's got a lot of trucks and he's got a lot of drivers. And like I said, if you go to an event, you're bound to see one of his trucks.
And movie themes are popular because look at all the novelties in the RC trucks and the T-shirts it makes for a good business enterprise.
Yeah, you know, every truck has their T-shirt, has their trucks, and you know, when they get out here and entertain the fans, that's what you know, drives the sale of those things. We got some donuts going on out there. He's really got the wheels going this time.
Yeah, he's got a good groove going. What's next?
Let's see if he's going to hit that van. He hasn't hit the van yet. Only Monster Moose has hit that so far tonight.
Monster Moose was impressive. It's the fans' vote. This is not a scripted event.
No. Look, waving to the crowd. Looks like he's done for the evening. But, you know, good run, good solid run.
On point.
Wow, look at that air. And then, oh, that is tough business.
Just looking to the outside, you don't realize the impact.
No, you don't. And all the drivers wear neck braces. They're all strapped in safety seats. But, you know, you still feel it after an event.
Good run for Frankenstein Monster Patrol, but Monster Moose, I think, captured the hearts of the crowd. When we return, Rick Swanson gives us some insight, a unique look at the Linux obsession.
It looks...
The Linux Obsession machine was originally built for Rick Swanson's wife to drive. It's bringing us some unique characteristics that set it apart from the other Monsters of Destruction trucks. We went to Rick's shop in Menifee, California to find out about it.
This is the Linux Obsession truck. It's an F250 Super Duty. It's a 2004 body style extended cab. It basically runs on a Dan Patrick chassis. Dan Patrick built probably 90% of the trucks out there. He definitely built all the fastest of the fast that are there. The frame is 8 years old. It's been competing for the last 7 years. It used to be standard to have the fuel cell up in front. I wanted mine in the back. That was one of the switches I wanted to do. I wanted to put 2 extra bars on the roll cage with 2 bars coming straight down. My motor is actually 3 inches further forward than a standard Patrick chassis frame. We use F106 centers. They're basically most common in like a 40-passenger school bus. Axle centers, and then we gusset them and flange them, and then from the flange out is a 6,000-pound all-terrain Clark forklift, which is basically a 20-ton planetary. By doing that, we take a rear axle out of a school bus, flange it, bolt the planetary on. Now we have steering in all 4 corners. When this was in a school bus, the top of it was actually the bottom. We flip them over. It hurts oiling your pinion as far as, you know, not sitting in the right location is designed by the factory, but we're not running this truck down a highway. We're doing 300 feet. The longest track I ever did, we did an oval that was a 1/4 mile, and that's it. So it's not like we got to worry about oiling problems as long as they're full to begin with. Some of the other things that I did different than everybody else is the inside where the gauges sit. It's real common to have everything in a cluster right here, right next to the driver's seat. So across my dash, I have my gauges on one side. When you're sitting in the seat, the gauges are on one side, your steering wheel tack, and all your warning lights. And then all my switches are over here with my fire bottle and my emergency turn. So everything that's emergency or safety related is right here. Steering wheel, gauge, tack, and warning lights. And your regular gauges are here. So when you're sitting in the seat, either hand can touch anything. There was a lot more extra precaution done. The way the Lexan is, it's a little tighter than most trucks. Actually, believe it or not, the paint scheme came off of a birthday plate. I saw those colors. It actually was 3 colors. It was yellow, purple, and teal. And when I originally built the truck, the frame and axles were teal on this. And over time, you know, it was time to do a major overhaul on the truck, and that's how the frame got to purple. But believe it or not, the colors just came off of a birthday plate. And the design here was, I didn't want flames because, you know, other trucks have flames. I didn't want scallops because scallops were, you know, way back when. I wasn't quite sure what I really wanted. And one day, we were thumbing through a magazine. It was airbrushed on a car where the paper had been ripped. They made it look like cardboard paper where it's thick, so it ripped all jaggedy. And I thought, you know, that's something different. And for the last 8 years, these have varied quite a bit as far as, depending on what body's on the truck, how much they angle up, how much they angle down, and how far back they come on the cab. But they have always been this scheme. Our job is to make every little kid know what Line-X is, because if every little kid knows what Line-X spray-on bed liners are from this monster truck, every father will have one in, because that's what their kid sees on TV.
Rick Swanson back with the Line-X Obsession, sponsored by AmeriGas, as well, getting ready for the freestyle event. Rick started touring monster trucks back in 1997. Started racing the new truck in '98 at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Took 2 years in the building. It's based on a '98 Ford F-150. Super Duty extended cab, of course, building the chassis, Dan Patrick.
Rick hasn't been able to make it out of any of the semifinal rounds in any of the earlier events. So you know he's going to put on a great show for the crowd in freestyle.
Oh, he got great air on his first attempt.
Yeah, it's looking real good here. Hitting the car straight and hard. Whoa, look at that.
Rick, of course, was a fast qualifier, but the rear end locked up, and he lost a lot of points in round one.
Yeah, very disappointing in round one, but here he goes, showing the crowd what he can do with a nice donut, best of the night.
He's out to win the freestyle in the hearts of the fans.
Yeah, everyone loves this Line-X truck. They know that Rick's going to give it all he's got, all the time, every event.
He put his arm out the window.
Yeah, I think he was driving no-handed there for a minute.
Like he was riding a bucket Bronco.
Wow. Going to hit the van, give the crowd what they want. Oh, yeah. Ooh, little tease, little tease.
He's playing to the crowd. You can see that.
Yeah, he is. They would definitely want to see someone else hit that van. The Monster Moose hit it. That was the only truck so far that's hit the GNC Prayer.
All right.
Wow.
Boom.
Nice little wheelie there at the end.
Oh.
Stop some time.
Talk about a pounding. Suspensions can only do so much.
In the offseason, Rick completely overtooled the suspension, put in all new front and back. So this truck is dialed in exactly how he wants it with the best equipment that's available.
Still, it gives him a sore back.
Yeah, there's times, oh, look at that, crushes the roof in. And that might be the end of his run. Look at him, happy as can be.
Playing to the crowd.
He knows he had a good run, and I think the crowd appreciates everything that he did in that run, because that was good.
Great show, Rick Swanson. Let's take another look.
Here's Rick hitting the red cars there. Gets up kind of slow. Nice little bit of air. Lands softly for a big old truck. And then here he is hitting the blue cars. A little bit bigger air there. A little bit bigger. Lands a little rough, but not bad. And here's that classic donut. He's so good at those. I mean, the other drivers might want to take a couple lessons on how he can do that.
Coming up next, Dragon Slayer and Bigfoot. Don't miss it.
The big boys with the big toys are back. January 14th and 15th.
It's the Dragon Slayer with Craig Christensen. And this is going to be a great run because he is known as a great freestyler.
Wow, what a great jump right up to start. And he takes a real unique approach. He feels he owes it to the fans to, beat the heck out of his truck because this is what they come to see. And he does not. Whoa, look at that.
Look out in those front rows.
Yeah, he looks like almost out of control, but it's more just an aggressive, attacking style, and it's not out of control.
Greg was a champion mud racer before he got into this. Don't forget the Antagonizer, the Monster Tank. He made very popular. Big wins over some of the crowd favorites, and he's after it here tonight.
Yeah, real aggressive in the first part of his run. He looked like he stalled it, and that's going to cost him valuable time and possibly some crowd support.
Well, he's going to have to step it up once he gets it revved up.
Yeah, and the thing about Craig is he knows that he messed up there. He knows he's going to have to come big or stay at home, or this crowd is not going to be happy. Whoa! That is huge air right there.
Wants to jump out of the stadium, it looks like.
Yeah, he is definitely making up for that little stall that he had. He just went huge over the van. Back the other way. Wow, we have not seen anyone take it that way, and that's hard because look at the short. He almost hit the wall.
Greg Christensen is doing his stuff.
Backing up over stuff, getting a run at it, getting turned around real quick. Looks like he's going to hit this car maybe one last time with something huge. Ooh, wow, look at that. Wheels are off the rims. Whoa, he is stalled out.
Amber Skywalker won the first round of freestyle this season, but Craig Christensen is looking for his second consecutive freestyle win.
He's getting out, and he's going to pump the crowd again. Oh, they love it. He knows he put on a good show. He knows it. It's going to be tough for the all-time crowd favorite Bigfoot to top that. But look at this, going over the van, just huge, Art.
Oh, the impact is something else.
And then right there, another big air over the cars. Comes down tough. And here he is with his last jump of the night. The wheels are coming off on impact. Huge jump.
Good thing it was his last jump.
Yeah, because he's definitely getting towed after that one.
Getting the crowd excited and taking his final bow.
Now let's go with a real unique look. We're underneath, looking at his wheels, looking at his suspension work. And look at the impact there. I mean, that is unreal. And that's not even the biggest jump of the day. See, now he's backing it up. You can hear him working the gears, trying to get in line for another huge jump. And here he goes. He hits getting lined up. Amazing stuff here. Now look, watch him. He's going to hit these cars. That's huge. Oh, look at that. That's amazing stuff.
We'll have to see what the crowd decides, but in my mind, Christensen has set the pace now for Bigfoot and Dan Runte.
Yeah, Bigfoot, always a crowd favorite, but he's going to really have to pull something out of his bag of tricks if he wants to make something happen. Whoa, nice little air there up over the cars and a little wheelie try, but still, I don't know, maybe if he rolls on his top, he might get the crowd after him.
Yeah, let's do a little 360, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, he's an amazing performer. There's no question about it. The time he went to Australia, did 41 events in 87 days.
Wow. Nice air over the van there. He knew he had to hit the van early because, that's what the crowd, they want to see the big air, and he knows he's got to come big.
Did you see him jump the tractor trailer in Las Vegas for the Idaria type show?
Yeah, amazing. The tractor trailer, the airplane. I mean, Bigfoot has definitely done some amazing tricks. And whoa, that was a good one. That wasn't bad on the front wheels there. He's pulling it out here. He's really hitting it hard.
The original monster truck, will he have enough popularity to pull that crowd as well as a good performance?
And only the second one to go over the van the opposite direction towards the short end of the stadium, which is quite a feat. That's tough.
Have to have great acceleration for that.
Yeah, and in an arena like this, a lot of people think you can't do the tricks. Well, you can do the trick, but it almost takes a little bit more because you have to be on the brake and you have to know your limitations, but you still can go big. Nice. Back over on the short end. Looks like that might be the end. I don't think he did it.
We'll have to see what the crowd decides.
Come back for one more. Oh, that was...
Oh, good hit.
He knew he had to have one more at least, but I still don't know.
Let's go on board now.
Yeah, watching how he keeps looking down, that's to see where his wheels are in relationship to the cars that he's jumping. And it's real difficult for these guys to see down there, and especially when they're in the air, to know when their wheels are going to hit the ground. That's why you see a lot of big impact. Doesn't look like much, but believe me, that hurts.
Yeah, Dan Runte's showing us what it costs body-wise to run one of these events.
Yeah, these drivers are really willing to pay the price. You watch Bigfoot here on the trick going up and over the cars. Nice little trick there. Not as big as Craig Christensen's, obviously, but adds a little wheelie at the end. Nice.
And there's nothing like seeing it live. You fans in Fresno, the 14th and 15th, the next live show, Bigfoot, Dragon Slayer, and all the trucks will be there. Our congratulations to Bigfoot for winning the Chicago Style here in Bakersfield, California, and the Straight Line Drags Monster Patrol, the winner, and it's just come across 3 different winners in 3 events. Craig Christensen, for the 2nd consecutive round, takes the freestyle victory. And Tim, if the fans like what they've seen here, check out Behind the Scenes show on the Outdoor Channel.
That really gives you an in-depth look at the drivers, their families, what they do off the track, and it's pretty interesting. Good show.
This is Art Eckman for Tim Hodge and Raquel Gardner saying thank you for joining us. So long, everybody.